Welcome back to the Denim Nerds. People are excited about this one, man. It was real. The rumors of the Punisher and the Hulk being in Spider-Man 4. And we just got the Punisher bit confirmed in the Hollywood trades. So I want to talk about it. Let's get into the article, break down everything that's revealed, because there's more than the Punisher stuff that's revealed. And then at the end of this video, I'll give you my take. I'll explain to you why I think this is so dope, and also what I predict for this film, because I heard some stuff. It's probably not in this article, but I heard some stuff, so we'll talk about that too. Okay, so pretty crazy stuff here, man. And also, I just want to say too, dropped at a weird time, right? Friday night, 6 p.m., like 6:21 p.m. here in the Hollywood Reporter. I don't know what the deal is with that. That's like a really unusual spot to put really big news like this. But anyway, let's check it out, man. Let's see what they have to say. The article reads, Jon Bernthal joins Tom Holland in Spider-Man, a brand new day. The Punisher's back. Jon Bernthal has appeared in several Marvel television series as the stone-cold vigilante known as the Punisher, even headlining his own series. Now he's taking his guns to the big screen. Bernthal joins Tom Holland in Spider-Man Brand New Day, the latest Spider-Man movie from Sony Marvel. Destin Daniel Crichton is directing the feature, which will shoot in England this summer and has a July 31st, 2026 release date. Much of the movie remains shrouded in mystery. Movie rumor websites have listed upwards of a dozen possible villains, from crime bosses to alien symbiotes, who could appear in the feature, as well as a couple of different versions of the Hulk. That's true. We've talked about all of that. It's crazy. The only thing clear at this stage is that Zendaya and Jacob Batalon will reprise their roles as MJ and best friend Ned, although how substantial those roles will be remains unclear. And Stranger Things star Sadie Sink is the big new addition so far. The story takes place after the events of the previous movie, Spider-Man No Way Home, in which the entire world knew Peter Parker was Spider-Man, and then he had that knowledge erased. Having Bernthal as the Punisher seems to point to a slightly more grounded angle on the story, as the character hails from the gritty streets corner of Marvel's universe, and in the comics at least, uses fists, knives, guns to tussle with bad guys rather than spells or fancy tech. But hey, having him square off against a rampaging Hulk could be fun too. Bernthal first showed up as vigilante Frank Castle, aka Punisher, in Marvel's Daredevil Netflix series, and then started his own series that ran for 2 seasons. He recently returned for a few episodes in Daredevil Born Again on Disney Plus. Marvel is betting on more Punisher and Bernthal in the months and years to come. The character is set to return for season 2 of Born Again, and Marvel is bringing Bernthal back for a Punisher standalone feature for Disney Plus. Bernthal is co-writing the latter. Curiously, one non-negotiable he had for his return to the Daredevil was maintaining the character's violence, R-rated feel. It will be interesting to see how that translates into the more kid-friendly tone of the Spider-Man movies. Bernthal and Holland have a charmed history together when it comes to Marvel. The duo was working together on the 2017 feature Pilgrimage when prepping to audition for their Marvel role. The actors helped each other with their audition tapes. Aw, that's sweet. This year, Bernthal's big screen output has included starring opposite of Ben Affleck in Accountant 2 for Amazon and appearing in Rami Malek's thriller The Amateur for 20th Century Fox. Okay, so as they rightly point out, there's been a bajillion rumors about this thing. Like, who's the actual villain? Why are there so many different rumored villains? Well, the truth of the matter is this has been a film that's been being tinkered with for quite some time. And like years ago, there were reports of this film including the symbiotes. There were reports that this movie was going to tie to the Netflix Daredevil show, was going to have Kingpin in it. We heard stuff about Ghost Rider. We heard stuff about Mr. Negative. We heard the Spider Queen. But here's a couple of interesting things about the Punisher thing. This has been out there, man. Jeff Snyder talked about this last December. Roca talked about this on their podcast together. Like, Roca broke the stuff about Hulk. I believe Snyder had the stuff about Punisher in December, and Roca had the Hulk stuff in January. But dude, check this out. This is insane. This blew my fucking mind. A Screen Geek article here from 2021 says Bernthal's Punisher wanted for future Spider-Man movie. What? We're being told that Marvel wants Jon Bernthal back as Punisher, and that they want him to return in an upcoming Spider-Man movie with a solo project down the line. And then, of course, you've got this very classic cover here of Amazing Spider-Man with Punisher and Spider-Man. So I say all of that to tell you that, like, this Punisher stuff has been out there. This has been something Marvel had probably on a whiteboard in a back room for a long ass time. They just like the idea of Punisher and Spider-Man together. And interesting, like, another thing we heard about this movie with Peter Parker is that they wanted a tonal shift in the same way that Thor Ragnarok was a tonal shift for the Thor character. But if we're reading the tea leaves here, it kind of seems like the tonal shift for Spider-Man is going to be that he's like badass and violent and hanging out with the Punisher, which is honestly a welcome change. I kind of like it, man. I do think the taste of the general audience is going a bit more in the mature direction. If you look at what Marvel's been doing lately, seems like they're embracing that a bit. R-rated Deadpool and Wolverine, a lot of violence and crazy stuff in Thunderbolts. Even the Daredevil show itself has an incredible amount of violence, and not all of it was perpetrated by Frank. I mean, Kingpin literally crushes a dude's head. So in a world where violent, gritty, street-level Marvel stuff seems to be the move, yes, I do think this Punisher thing makes sense for Spider-Man 4. Also, too, I'll shout out Gary from Nerd Erotic. He apparently had this a long time ago as well. I don't really watch a lot of Gary stuff, but people have brought it up to me. I believe it. He definitely had this as well. It's just that this has been a thing, man. Like, a lot of different people have had this from Marvel sources for years now. So it's a plan, years in the making, and I frankly think it's a really good idea. Now, here, let me tell you a couple things I heard behind the scenes. So number one, even though everybody's kind of dancing around it and the Hollywood trades don't seem to want to admit it, Hulk and Savage Hulk is the main villain. That's going to be the main bad guy of the Spider-Man movie. And it does seem like there's gonna be a lot of other stuff going on, right? So there is this Sadie Sink casting, a lot of rumors about who that could be. Could be MJ, could be MJ's kid, May Parker, could even be an alternate version of Gwen Stacy as Spider-Gwen, and that's a new one, like a new rumor that's out there, actually from Jeff Snyder. Like, what? So the movie does seem to have a lot going on, and it's still difficult to put all the pieces together, but I think the main takeaway, and this is something that I was told, is this is now going back in a street level direction. Part of this has to do with the delay to Doomsday. Doomsday now takes place after Spider-Man 4. That was not originally the case. It was supposed to go May, you have Doomsday, and then in the summer, you get Spider-Man 4. Now, Doomsday has been delayed to winter of next year, but Spider-Man 4 holds its summer, July spot, and I think it will make that no problem. It's going to film this year. But what I was told was this movie was being cooked as a Battle World film. There was a version of this movie, even recently, like within the last couple of months, that was going to be on Battle World, yet maybe still grounded in a sense. Like, I think this Punisher thing's been in the works for a while. I think the Hulk thing's been in the works for a while, but Marvel had like a lot of different ways they could execute on that. But this move, this thing coming out in the Hollywood trades yesterday, pretty much solidifies you're getting a grounded street level Spider-Man story with Frank Castle, ultimately putting Frank Castle and Spider-Man against the return of the Savage Hulk. Still no clear answer on how we get to Savage Hulk. Is it our Bruce? Is this a variant? Is it Maestro Hulk? All sorts of questions there. But from what I've been told, it's just Savage Hulk. Bruce is going to snap, go savage for some reason, and then they're going to have to try to stop him. Another thing we have to add in here is I think Tom Holland's getting the symbiote suit, man. I think he's absolutely going to get the black symbiote suit. And so what you might be looking at here is black symbiote suit Peter Parker kind of losing himself a bit, going a bit to the dark side, and then teaming up with Frank Castle, who might be like that devil on his shoulder that just keeps pushing him a little further, a little further, a little further. And I gotta say, that is a really fun combination. I love the actors together. I love the characters together. I love how different it feels. Like, it does really feel unique. And if it has this like back in black kind of a badass vibe to it with Tom Holland Spider-Man in the Venom suit, you've got Frank Castle doing Punisher stuff, that's like chef's kiss, man. So it's not going to be Battle World. It's going to be grounded. They're setting this stuff up. I still believe the symbiotes will play a role. And then potentially then that leads into whatever's going on with Spider-Man in Doomsday, which we've heard a lot of leaks and rumors about. We're not really sure, but I do believe with the big time delay in Doomsday, they will absolutely get Tom Holland Spider-Man into that film now. Now, there's another big question here that everybody keeps asking. It's like, how could Punisher deal with Hulk? And I gotta say, I actually think people are super underestimating Punisher here. Frank has been able to create weapons and contingencies to give a lot of trouble to very powerful Marvel characters. But I also think this is a great opportunity to do something that was really fun in Marvel Comics, and that was when Frank Castle got a hold of the War Machine armor. Honestly, not even that great of a comic, but a super fun comic book idea. Frank Castle gets a War Machine set of armor, paints a Punisher skull on it, and goes fucking crazy, killing bad guys at a rate he had never killed bad guys before. And I think this would be such a great opportunity to do this in the movie. Give Frank Castle some Tony Stark weapon tech, man. Again, maybe that's why he goes to Peter Parker in the first place. That's a really fun, really interesting angle, and I would absolutely love to see Bernthal in some War Machine armor going toe-to-toe with the Hulk with the aid of Spider-Man. That would be absolutely badass. fucking cinema. So anyway, guys, there's the new report. It's confirmed now, and also it just means, like, dude, there's a lot of great scoopers and reporters in this scene, man. Like, multiple people had this a long time ago, so it's worth paying attention to the rumors. But also, it is good to get it officially confirmed and to know finally what Spider-Man 4 is kind of forming itself into, and I'm actually excited about it. I think there's a lot of cool opportunity here to give us great fan service, spectacle, fun, and a more personal story for Peter, as it doesn't have to now be tied into the whole multiversal Doomsday thing. Let me know what you think about this, man. What do you think about it? Let me know. Let me know in the chat. I guess in the comment section, because it's not a stream. And as I always say, I hope you are having an awesome and a nerdy day, and I'll see you in the next video.